Yeah, the DSS has been given, 48 hours ultimatum, and this is why the DSS must obey the 48 hours ultimatum given by the lawyers to release Igboho's aid. It has been a back and forth predicament for the 12-hour associate of the Yoruba rights leader Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Sunday Igboho, who were apprehended by the Department of Secret Service when a raid was carried out on his house in the early hours of July 1st this year. After also spending almost 2 months at the DSS custody, their bail conditions were perfected and the warrants to release them were signed in Abuja on Monday by Justice Obiora Egwathu. Meanwhile, the bail granted by the court could not be executed due to the alleged adamance of the security agencies to, release the 12 detainees. It was rumored that the move to release them was blocked by the Director General of the DSS, Alhaji Yusuf Bichi. But in a very stern warning issued today by Pelumi Olajengbese, the lawyer to the 12 detained aides, he has given the DSS, which is the Department of State Service, 48 hours ultimatum to release them. And here is why the security operatives must heed the warning before that time frame. First of all, those who are saddled with the responsibility of upholding the law should not be seen disobedience and disobeying the court orders. You would recall that the Department of the Secret Service asked the court to nullify the bail granted to the 12 disciples of Sunday Igboho, and they have arrested almost 2 months. They have been arrested almost 2 months ago, but the court struck out the application and held on to the bail granted to the detainee. So the security department has no other reason to still fail to release them after their bail conditions were perfected. Secondly, those detained persons have not been charged with any criminal offense until they were arrested and also paraded by the DSS, Department of Secret Service. That act alone is a violation of their fundamental human rights, and a law enforcement agency should not be found guilty of such violation. Yes, they must not be found guilty of such violation because they know the law, and as it is, they should not violate the law or breach the law. It's more or less like you have an agreement with somebody and you definitely signed the agreement and you're under a violation or under a law or under the constitution of that agreement. As soon as you breach that agreement, you are found liable of corrupt practices or being guilty. And as it is being said, under the constitution of Nigeria, there is freedom for movement, freedom of speech, and freedom to life, and also freedom, to oppose and dispose your claim, which also stated that a expression of words, but not to the detriment of endangering someone's life, or not to create hate speech. But as it is, the DSS, who are the agencies and also government parastatals, who know very vividly what the law says about a violation of fundamental human rights, because Sunday Igboho aides have not really done anything to deserve all this stress and all this violation of their fundamental rights, which the law enforcement agency have passed on to them. And also, as a law enforcement agent, you should not be found guilty of any such violation concerning fundamental rights, especially of that magnitude. Well, further from that, the society will begin to perceive the security operatives as an entity who has no regard for the rules of law, and as well use its power to oppress the masses. Even if they still have any reasons to arraign them in the court, it is imperative for the DSS, which is the Department of State Service, to first obey the court order and free them. Yes, in addition to that, there are the psychological implications the continual detainee will have on these people and their families. Their mental health should be taken into consideration. More so, it was sad that some of them have had health deteriorated in detention since they could not gain access to good health care. Yes, concerning this addition that was even added, say there are psychological implications the continual detainee will have on these people? Well, apart from health issues concerning the DSS, if it has been said that even if they still have any reasons to arraign them in court, it is imperative for DSS to first obey the court order and free them. Well, as it is, the DSS and the so-called AGF and Buhari himself, who has sent them on that same errand to go and violate their fundamental rights in Sunday Igboho's house, also needed to be charged to court and to pay fine. And I believe the fine they are supposed to pay should be more exorbitant. You understand? Because as it is, they have violated their fundamental rights. And for the lawyer or the judge to have postponed or adjourned the case till now, and since their their bail has been granted, so there's needless for them to be detained still in custody, because the date that is being fixed that for them to be bailed has elapsed. So they should start counting the charges they will charge those that are involved. And Buhari and Malami has denied, saying that they never know what the DSS is planning, or they did not send the DSS to go to Sunday Igboho's house to commit that atrocities. Because people have been saying, so many lawyers have come up to say that the violation of rights by invading Sunday Igboho's house around 1 a.m. on the 1st of July 2021 was illegal, and it is an offense to the law for you to have carried out that magnitude of harassment and magnitude of that invasion, because you invaded somebody's privacy around 1 a.m. That is more or less like armed robbery. That is more or less like assassination, and that's an intrusion into someone's else privacy. You can be charged to court for that, and which they should be charged to court. Those that perpetrated that evil acts should be charged to court. So meanwhile, as Buhari and Malami has denied sending them on such errand, they that committed those crimes should be brought to book. And now you said, according to Malami, who says he never knew nothing about the invasion of Sunday Igboho at that time, and meanwhile it was you, Malami, who even make that statement to the public that Sunday Igboho aid has been caught. That you allege that you charged Sunday Igboho you charge him to court, saying they were stockpiling arms. If you never knew how they invaded Sunday Igboho's house, and you didn't ask what the procedure was taken before invading Sunday Igboho's house, and you knew all that until when you were charged to court, that's when you now start saying you never knew anything about that you did not send them on hand. Well, did their father who put them there as forgiven spirit? No, not at all. They will wish them dead in that detention. God is watching them. Wicked government ever existed in Nigeria. Okay, got to this person saying that Buhari, who is the father of the DSS, as was the one that gave them order not to release him, or better still, they will face the wrath of God. Wickedness can only abide for a little while. In no time, sooner or later, those people that see themselves as demigods will soon be nothing but mere shadows with no voices in the future. Well, I would continue from now till tomorrow to read so many comments, but we may not leave here. But I believe you have something to say towards this. Thanks for listening, and share your comments. Thank you very much.